I would say, as I have said from the very outset, I accept responsibility for this tragedy. We are going to look into how this happened, and we are going to take corrective action to ensure that it never happens again.
Representative Jim Jordan of Ohio.
You know what it looks like, Director? It looks like you won't answer some pretty basic questions. It looks like you got a 9% raise and you cut corners when it came to protecting one of the most important individuals, most well-known individuals on the planet. A former president, likely the guy who's going to be the next president. Looks like you guys were cutting corners. That's what it looks like to me.
Cheadle says no requests were denied the day of the assassination attempt. Meanwhile, a major shakeup for the Democratic Party continues to see fallout as President Biden officially plans to withdraw from the 2024 presidential race. ABC's Stephen Portnoy telling Wisconsin's Morning News what officially led to the president making the announcement after previously stating he had planned to stay in the race.
Members of Joe Biden's inner circle huddled with him on Saturday. Remember, he's still in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, recovering from COVID. The word was that they sat with him and from a distance and explained that they had data that indicated that he was not going to win in November.
President Biden and Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers have both endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris for the presidency. VP Harris will be in Milwaukee on Tuesday for a campaign event. The reconstruction of Milwaukee's Lake Drive set to begin today. The two-phase project will begin with work between Edgewood Avenue and Kenwood Boulevard on the city's Upper East Side. Construction will include pavement replacing drainage structures, and implementing protected bike lanes. Work is expected to be completed on the project in mid-2025. And a developing story in Green Bay this hour. It is the opening day of Packers training camp, but not present quarterback Jordan Love. General Manager Brian Gutekunst says Love has told him he will not practice until a contract extension is agreed to.
We certainly understand where he's coming from. We'd like him to be out there. It's important for him to be out there. Obviously, you guys know how important practice is and, working with his teammates. So, but as of now, until we get that resolved, he will not be practicing.
Love and the Packers had been haggling over a contract extension since the end of last season. Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update still all green for the major three today. The Dow is up 179 points to 40,467. The Nasdaq up 237 points to 17,963. And the S&P 500 having a very nice day, up 53 points so far to 5,559. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports traffic and weather coming up next. Citing a little bit at WTMJ News Times 10:04.
I'm Dave Sager. I'm the chairman of Bethlehem Evangelical Lutheran Church and School. In 1998, we made a decision to buy some property in Germantown. It was always the mindset someday we would build a church on that property. Horicon Bank bent over backwards for us repeatedly. I can't tell you how many times I reached out to Michelle on a Saturday, on a Sunday. Can you help me out? And it would not be possible without Horicon Bank and Catalyst Construction. Just amazing individuals, and it's all family.
It's Heiser's Red, White, and Blue event. Service or upgrade your ride today with star-spangled discounts you deserve. Let our certified technicians get your current ride road trip ready for July festivities. Or work with our sales consultants to find the perfect new vehicle for all your summer destinations. Plus, enjoy our exclusive Safe and Sound program with every vehicle sale. See details and offers at Heiser.com and celebrate your independence today. At Heiser, today's your day.
See dealer for complete details.
Dan, did you know the average person spends 17 minutes a day looking for clothes in their closet?
Seriously? Just looking for clothes?
That's almost 5 days a year. It's why I love what we do, giving people time back in their day and calming the chaos.
I agree, Katie. At Inspired Closets, our 3D design software allows us to build a closet of our clients' dreams.
Inspired Closets gives you your time back.
And a lifetime warranty. Call us today or visit us at inspiredclosetsmilwaukee.com.
A wife and husband team.
Hey, Wisconsin, it's construction season, and the Wisconsin DOT wants to help you safely navigate work zones in your area. Check 511wi.gov or download the free 511 app to see current road work, closures, detours, and camera views on your route. Wherever your travels take you, know before you go with 511wi.gov. That's 511wi.gov. And remember, know before you go. Always park the phone while driving. Sponsored by the Wisconsin DOT.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. As mentioned just a few moments ago, developing story in Green Bay where Packers quarterback Jordan Love is not present at the start of training camp as contract negotiations continue between Love and the Packers. And the Brewers will open a 3-game series tonight at Wrigley Field against Craig Counsell and the rival Cubs. Our coverage starts with Brewers warm-up at 6 right here on WTMJ. Checking the roads, your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic right now. Heads up, it is a slow go on 43 north and south right now from about Lakefield Road heading up to about the Saukville area in southern Ozaukee County. There are no incident notifications up on the board at this time, but it does appear in both directions between about Lakefield Road and again Saukville is where you're going to be seeing some pretty hefty slowdowns right now as you pass by Grafton to the east. So just something to be aware of. Again, no incidents on the board, but it is slow in both directions on 43 in southern Ozaukee County. Elsewhere across the system, the only slow spot is on 894 west from the Mitchell to about Loomis right now for that construction.
Traffic is sponsored by Lynch McQuanago. The place you want to go. Lynch McQuanago.
Chevrolets, Fords, Chryslers, Dodges, Jeeps, and Rams. All in one location. The place you want to go. Lynch McQuanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast, mostly sunny today. We will see a chance for some pop-up inland showers. Might also be some haze in the sky from Canadian wildfire smoke. A high of 80 today, clear tonight and down to 66. Rain is more likely for your Tuesday. Could also see some scattered thunderstorms with a high of 83. That rain might linger into early Wednesday morning, then clearing out and a high of 77. Thursday, mostly sunny, 76. Friday, sun and a high of 79 degrees. Right now in Madison, partly sunny and 72. Green Bay checking in 71 and sunny. Waukesha, 73, mostly sunny skies. And in Milwaukee, mostly sunny and 71. I'm Adam Roberts, Siding Unlimited WTMJ News Times, 10:08.
Live from the Annex Wealth Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. It's time for the Upswing on WTMJ, presented by Horicon Bank, the natural choice for all your banking needs. Showcasing businesses, entrepreneurs, and community leaders throughout the great state of Wisconsin. Here's Jeff Sherman.
'Cause I'm gonna make this place your home.
Good morning, Wisconsin. Good morning, Milwaukee. Creating your Monday momentum. That's what we do here on the Upswing. So let's go. Let's get right to it. Dave Spano, President and CEO of Annex Wealth Management, jumps on right off the bat. Good morning, Dave. How are you this beautiful Monday?
I'm great, Jeff. Thanks for having me on. What a beautiful day.
Indeed, yes. So did you get to any of the RNC events last week or any of the convention?
Yeah, I was down there. As you know, we have a office in the Pfister Hotel across from your beautiful place down there, and so we were camped there and had a lot of opportunity to talk to delegates, talk to politicians, Tulsi Gabbard, and Ted Kellner, chair of the host committee. So it was really a great event to be down there.
Very good. All right. So I wanted to have you on for many reasons this morning. I mean, what impact does President Biden have dropping out of the race? What is it like short-term and long-term implications for the economy and for our investments?
Well, there's the policy differences between the two are pretty dramatic. And so you have to say, one policy versus the next. What is that going to do for the economy? What is it going to do for sectors, for example? So you could just talk, from the very top is, the economy. You can compare and contrast. You're going to have to say that Vice President Harris, that was the Biden economy as well. So she's certainly tied together with that versus what Trump had. And you can compare, for example, unemployment, inflation, the economic growth of the country. All of those things are going to come into play. And that is really going to be the conversation because, as you well know, economics and politics certainly are connected.
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt. The truth is the economy's had some amazing moments and some big pitfalls under both Trump and Biden. So, what could we expect? We're going to fast forward here, but what could we expect under a second term from Trump in terms of taxes and interest rates and investor status?
Yeah, that's a great question. So you'll remember that he put in those tax cuts back when he was in as president, and they are expected to roll off, and because they had a term limit to them, and they're expected to roll off in 2026. However, if he wins again, I would expect that they get extended. By contrast, certainly the Democratic policy has certainly been not to have that happen, number one, and number two, actually to go the other way. There's a major discussion among economists about what would happen if the Democrats implemented their tax plan, which is to raise taxes, not to lower taxes. For example, they're talking about raising the capital gains tax all the way up to ordinary income. So, for example, it depends on where you are for an economic tax bracket, but you sell your house, you could pay capital gains taxes on that, for example, but you sell a stock. That would be one. Number two, certainly they're talking about an unrealized gains tax, which I'm not sure is constitutional, but that is something they're talking about. In other words, if you have something in your portfolio and you haven't sold it, they want to attempt to tax that. Obviously, that doesn't exist today. And obviously, you could take that to the nth degree and say, for example, if you have a farm and you're working that farm and your grandfather paid X dollars for it and it's worth 5 times that right now, you would have to pay a tax on unrealized appreciation. So there's a lot to vet. There's no question that the tax policies between the D's and the R's are dramatically different. You talked about inflation. And so inflation, obviously, when Trump had it, when he left, it was under 2%. For a number of reasons, inflation skyrocketed. You can say it was supply chain, it was COVID, it certainly was some of the American Rescue Plan, for example. All of that went into play, Jeff, to raise inflation, spiking out at 9%. It certainly is headed in the right direction. I mean, in fact, I wouldn't be surprised at all, Jeff, if you see a Fed cut in September because they're getting towards their federal mandate.
Yeah, can you stick around for a couple more minutes after the break?
Yeah.
I do want to get your thoughts on what we can expect to hear from the Fed and Chairman Powell this week. This is the Upswing presented by Horicon Bank, and you're listening to WTMJ.
Throughout history, some people have been born into greatness because of their name or family. Others gained greatness because of their actions. On Wisconsin's Morning News, we celebrate everyday heroes, the John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they woke up one morning they'd be saving a life. Everyday Heroes, Thursday at 6:40 on Wisconsin's Morning News, presented by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care.
Accident Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wickert, owner of Wisconsin's own Accident Mortgage, with a tip for today's home shoppers. You already know inventory is low and both competition and home prices are high. That's probably why you should not go with your bank or your real estate agent's mortgage pal for your pre-approval. You see, the banks have lots of branches, fancy headquarters, vice presidents and assistant vice presidents. And the loan officers who get referrals from real estate agents, they're typically very highly paid. Who do you think pays for all that extra expense? Turns out it's you. High overhead and high compensation naturally translate into higher closing costs. At Accunet, our extreme efficiency and low overhead mean your closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 lower than banks and other lenders for exactly the same rate. Don't light your hard-earned money on fire. Get started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval today by clicking on the blue button and put the money you'll save in closing costs towards something for your new home. That's ACCUNET.com.
Vince Vitrano for Johnson & Sons Paving. Summer is here, but before we know it, we'll be prepping for winter. Johnson & Sons Paving wants to make sure you're ready by remembering the 3 R's of parking lot and asphalt maintenance. Reseal every 2 to 3 years. Repair when you see signs of cracking or potholes. And replace if there's standing water, warping, buckling, or sinking. Don't scare those customers or tenants away with a bad parking lot. Connect with Johnson & Sons today to make those minor repairs before they become huge headaches. Visit johnsonsonspaving.com.
Welcome back to the Monday Upswing. Dave Spano, President and CEO of Annex Wealth Management, joins us this morning for a couple more minutes. Dave, what can we expect to hear from the Fed this week?
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see the Fed really make any moves this week, but of course they're meeting again in September, and it's a high expectation that they will lower interest rates perhaps by a quarter point in September. But, there's a lot that goes into it, and you're going to hear a lot about inflation over the next 90 days. And in fact, it's really important to us and our clients as well, because that is a basic input. If you're at point A and want to get to point B, and we want to grow your portfolio and reduce your taxes, inflation is a big part of that. So we spend a lot of effort and time trying to figure that out. But both sides, you can argue, are going to have inflationary policies. So again, that puts Chairman Powell in a predicament again, because even if they cut rates, that doesn't mean that you're not going to have another flare-up no matter who wins in inflation around the quarter for many reasons. You talk about tariffs. Are tariffs inflationary? You can talk about more spending. Is that inflationary? So on both sides, it's not clear sailing that inflation is going to get back to its target.
Yeah. In the next couple segments, we're going to talk about the technology outage from over the weekend. And what in terms of investor lens, what should investors be aware of as it pertains to IT failures like Friday's CrowdStrike? Yeah,
it's really amazing. And of course, you talk about what that happens and the lack of efficiency, and it should be the basis of both parties move forward is how do we get more efficient? Because if we want to grow ourselves out of $34 trillion in debt, we have to be more efficient, and that's going to be using technology, some AI as well. So there's no question that both sides are all in on becoming more efficient. How you get there and how you do that, obviously that's a point of debate, but you're going to have to say, do you use technology? Can you be more efficient? And how do you grow yourself out? For example, the Republican platform is certainly going to talk about the growth of GDP, no question about that, number one, and so are the Democrats. And number two is how do you reduce the budget deficit? And those are conversations that are going to be had. Now, you want to split that apart about technology. You can use technology for everywhere from in the office to energy. And for example, you're going to hear a lot about energy over the next 90 days. The Democrats are certainly going to push the EV policies, and the Republicans are going to talk about perhaps more drilling. And so there is going to be a very big departure. And maybe we can not talk about people, and we can talk about policy. I'm a little bit of an optimist on that, but we haven't seen that quite yet. But that is really what the conversations that we're going to have over the next 90 days. An extraordinarily important election.
Very good. All right, optimism. That's what we love here on the Upswing. Dave, have a great week, and we'll talk again soon.
Good. Thanks for having me on. See ya.
Thanks, Dave. On to travel plans at MKE and around the world. Obviously, on Friday, we're kind of thrown into a disarray, right? Global technology outage disrupted businesses and government agencies and critical services like airfare, and it just caused a ton of delays, thousands of flights to be delayed. A bunch of people couldn't get out of Milwaukee that were in town for the RNC. And since we're in the middle of travel season, I really wanted to dive into kind of potential red flags and technology traps and even scams to look out for when you're traveling. So we have today Larry Zelvin, who is head of BMO's Financial Crimes Unit. Larry joins us on the Tri-County Contracting Hotline. Larry, welcome to the Upswing. You're not in the Milwaukee BMO Tower today, are you?
No, Jeff, I'm not, but it's still great to be with you and your listeners. So thanks very much for having me this morning.
I appreciate your time. So from a travel lens, what should we look out for, especially after kind of the implications of what happened over the weekend?
Yeah, look, what happened over this weekend was absolutely horrible, inconvenient to a lot of folks. But, what I'm going to talk about are things that are more personal and less systemic, like you saw with the CrowdStrike. Look, when you look at travel scams, when people go overseas, they just have to realize that they're in a different environment and the risk changes. When you look at the conventional stuff, everything from broken taxi meters, you get in a taxi and all of a sudden the meter doesn't work and now they're making up the cost. So you've got to watch out for that. There are folks that may spill something on your clothing in order to distract you, to steal your purse, your wallet. Actually, that happened to my father many, many years ago in New York, and it's still very, very effective. One of the other things people need to be worried about, and it happened to me when I was in spring break many, many years ago in college, is all of a sudden somebody shakes your hand and you find narcotics in your hand, and it's like, oh my gosh, and next thing you know, the police are coming, and now they're not real police, but they're scamming you to tell you that if you don't give them money, that they're going to send you to jail. So there's all kinds of crazy things that are happening on a physical side, and then obviously I'd be more than happy to talk a little bit about what's happening in the cyber world, because that's actually affecting a whole lot more people, and is becoming even harder to detect.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of AI scams out there. I mean, I was booking a flight for early August, and I think I'm pretty savvy. But I was surprised at how many interesting offers and kind of suspect messages and almost like questionable follow-ups I was getting after searching for flights and pricing for like a day and a half. I mean, what should we look out for in terms of kind of cyber crime when booking flights?
Yeah, so let's just talk about cybercrime, and then we can talk about how AI or artificial intelligence is actually improving it. Because honestly, it's not really the scams or the frauds that are changing. It's becoming a lot more believable, and their ability to do this at a much higher rate of scale, impact more people, is just been going crazy. But look, when you look at Booking.com, which is one of the more reputable travel sites, they said they've seen a 500 to 900% increase in AI-related travel scams in the past 18 months. McAfee, which is a cybersecurity company, said 1 in 4 surveyed Americans have fallen victim to a travel scam or know somebody that has. In most cases, they've lost well over $1,000 through a single scam. So these things aren't net new, they're rather supercharged. And also the technology requirement to do these are lowered because AI makes things so much easier. So what are we talking about? Well, first, search engine optimization. There are ways they can manipulate search engines, so if you Google or whatever your favorite site is, but to put their sites up in front. So one of the cautions I tell folks is just watch the first site you get to and be maybe a little bit more of a skeptical consumer there. The second one is when you find an internet search site and you click on it, be careful because they may be trying to impersonate travel websites by creating familiar branding, logos, or verbiage. They'll also look to what you're trying to find, whether it's rentals, timeshares, vacation clubs, hotels, or tours. But these fake websites, what you really need to be careful of is when they start asking you for payment information or personal information. And you also got to be careful before you click on these links because they could download malware onto your computer.
All right. Larry Zelvin, head of BMO's Financial Crimes Unit. We're going to go to break, but we'll come back. What should we look out for in terms of pre-TSA check-ins and other red flags as we travel for the rest of the summer? This is The Upswing presented by Horicon Bank.
Creative Planning presents Rethink Your Money with John Hagenson, Saturday afternoon at 1. At Creative Planning, we custom tailor your portfolio to help you achieve your ideal financial future. You'll see how our wealth managers work with in-house CPAs and attorneys to ensure your money is working as hard as it can for you. Why not give your wealth a second look? Visit creativeplanning.com. That's creativeplanning.com.
Frank Daniels, our Madison goldsmith, has an idea.
Bring him in.
Hey, Rick. Hey, Sarah. Hi, Monica.
It's great to see you, Frank. What's your idea?
It's a new company policy.
Let's hear it.
You know the world-famous Kessler's warranty?
If you bought it at Kessler's, it's guaranteed. It's just that simple. Even if you lose a diamond, including the center stone, we'll replace it. All maintenance is free forever. Yes, it really is that miraculous.
Every time I hear that warranty, it blows my mind.
I propose we have a jewelry cleaning policy that's as amazing as that warranty.
What would it say?
Bring us your jewelry and we'll professionally clean it. While you wait, for free. You can come in as often as you want, and we don't care where you bought your jewelry. The only thing that matters is that you want it to look amazing again. We want that too.
I vote yes.
I vote yes. I vote yes. The motion carries.
Congratulations, Frank. Your idea is now company policy.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
You wake up feeling like you just boxed 12 rounds. Some wake up sweating with sore jaws, headaches, and a lot of our patients complain of brain fog. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula, and these signs, often joined with snoring, are sleep apnea symptoms. And if this sounds like you may have been in a struggle last night between you and this serious disorder. Many people aren't willing to fight back. But the fact is, you can't go through these nightly struggles without ramifications that each night chip away at your life's expiration date. I get it. You don't want to wear a CPAP mask. You may find out you don't need one. We have every effective sleep apnea solution available. And believe me, the mask is the last resort.
Solving your breathing triangle problem can lead to better sleep and a better quality of life. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary.
Baird has invested in the vitality of downtown Milwaukee for over a century. Hi, I'm Mary Ellen Stanek, president of Baird Funds. Baird is a world-class financial services firm. As one of downtown's largest employers, we believe in supporting the communities we serve. We're proud to call downtown our home, and even prouder to elevate our city's world-class amenities with a new convention center. Experience it for yourself. Go to MilwaukeeDowntown.com.
Welcome back to the Upswing, presented by Horicon Bank. Larry Zelvin, head of BMO's Financial Crimes Unit, joins us again. So, Larry, a couple more things on my mind as we continue on in this busy summer travel season. What about the third-party TSA pre-checks? I mean, what should we kind of be on the lookout for with those sites?
Yeah, look, it's just make sure you're actually dealing with TSA and the U.S. government. You know, you've got to be really a skeptical user of all these things. Be very careful. If you get rerouted to another site that's not a .gov site or something you don't recognize, before you share your credit card or payment information, do know that U.S. government probably won't ask for instant payment systems like Venmo, Zelle, wire transfer, cryptocurrency, or gift card. So that should be another detector. And then, by all means, feel free to reach out to the .gov or call the government phone numbers that you see on .gov sites and just validate that the site you're using is real. It may save you a lot of time, energy, and grief.
All right. What about QR codes? We're all getting really comfortable with them now on so many different levels, but what should we be on the lookout for and be careful of? Because they're so incredibly convenient. They're everywhere. But should we instantly trust any link?
No, you should just be the opposite. I mean, the problem with QR codes is you can't actually see the link unless you are really going to go to it. They're meant to be more convenient.
Right.
But the problem with these QR codes is, unfortunately, people put stickers on top, so it may take you to a different site. You may also get some packages that we're seeing in the mail with instructions on what the package is and why it was sent, and it's illegitimate. Then you'll see some personal emails with QR codes, and you got to wonder, as those your friends who really are asking you for a QR code. But just look for tampering on the stickers. Don't ever download a QR scanning app. And again, watch those places in public. I mean, a lot of the parking meters are being taken over. People are losing big money there. So again, you just got to be careful and skeptical, especially if you're giving your money away.
Yeah. All right. So as I tend to do this often, I just kind of see who's buying and selling on the event side with tickets. What about event tickets, especially when we're out of market and maybe kind of out of our comfort zone? What should we pay attention to there?
Yeah, look, we're seeing everything from trains and buses and venues to museums, sporting events with the Olympics coming up. But look, just be careful of phishing emails with great offers that seem too good to be true. They probably are. Be careful on looking for Ticketmaster on sites that are from third parties. It's not them. Watch out for speculative selling. If people are saying, hey, if you give me your credit card or payment information, you'll go to the head of the line, that's probably not true.
Mm-hmm.
Watch out for the printed tickets. They're getting really, really hard to distinguish, so just be very careful there if you're buying those.
All right, very good. Larry Zelvin from BMO Financial Crimes Unit. I appreciate you spending time with us and kind of helping us level set as we get out of this technology bump from last week.
You bet, Jeff, and good luck to you all. Be safe.
Thank you, thank you. Yesterday was National Ice Cream Day. I'm going to extend that holiday for one more day. WTMJ News Time is 10:30. ABC News and local headlines are coming up next. And then Wisconsin's only Ben & Jerry's Scoop Shop opened last Sunday. The owners of that franchise join us on The Upswing, presented by Horicon Bank.
This is a special report from ABC News. Race for the White House, I'm Sherry Preston. Vice President Kamala Harris is making remarks from the White House today. ABC's Karen Travers has more.
In her first public event since announcing she's seeking the Democratic nomination, Vice President Harris today will deliver remarks at an event celebrating the NCAA championship teams from this past season. Harris will hit the campaign trail on Tuesday, traveling to the battleground state of Wisconsin for an event in Milwaukee. She's expected to travel to Indianapolis on Wednesday. Since the president announced he was dropping out of the race and endorsing Vice President Harris, her campaign raised nearly $50 million in smaller grassroots donations. Karen Travers, ABC News. the White House.
Among those who have been mentioned as possible running mates, Governors Roy Cooper, Josh Shapiro, and Andy Beshear from North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Kentucky, respectively. The Democratic National Convention begins a month from today in Chicago. This is ABC News.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ news time is 10:31. A teenage girl is dead, 9 other teens injured and recovering after a mass shooting overnight at Milwaukee's Deneen Park. Shooting appears to have been precipitated by a, quote, impromptu car party and then a fight around 12:30 this morning. 2 homes were struck by gunfire in the neighborhood. No injuries reported in either home. Wisconsin setting record-breaking workforce numbers in June. The Department of Workforce Development says the unemployment rate in Wisconsin held steady at 2.9% last month, more than a full percentage point below the national unemployment rate of 4.1%. The state also achieved a record high over 3 million people employed. And Packers quarterback Jordan Love not at training camp, which is underway in Green Bay today. General Manager Brian Gutekunst says Love has told them he will not participate until a contract extension is agreed to. Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Still all green for the majors, though down slightly from earlier this hour. The Dow's now up 22 points to 40,309. The Nasdaq up 127 to 17,853. And the S&P 500 losing some of their earlier gains this hour, now up 28 points to 5,533. It's time for an honest look at where you are financially and where you're headed. Work with a fee-only fiduciary. Start at annexwealth.com. Let's check the roads. Your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. That earlier incident we reported on in 43 is still ongoing at this hour. It doesn't look like there's any sort of crash that I can see. We don't have any DOT cameras at that location in Ozaukee County, but it is still a slow go north from about Lakefield Road up to Saukville, and then Saukville down to about Grafton, Highway 60 in the other direction. So be mindful as you're working your way through there. You will encounter some delays. Also have a broken down vehicle on 94 North just beyond the Mineral Street ramp, not impeding on traffic. And then 894 west from the Mitchell to about Loomis, you'll encounter delays working through the construction zone. Your WTMJ forecast for today: sunny skies, a chance for a pop-up inland shower later today with a high of 80. Clear tonight down to 66. More rain and thunderstorms likely on Tuesday and 83. Early rain possible Wednesday and 77. Nice on Thursday and Friday, mostly sunny, highs in the mid to upper 70s. Right now in Anago, sunny skies and 72. Racine, mostly sunny and 74. And in Milwaukee, mostly sunny and 72 degrees. I'm Adam Roberts, citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Times 1034.
If you're looking to get a new car, you could really cut expenses by bundling your car and renter's insurance with Progressive. Sure, you love your old car, but you know it's not normal to give instructions on how to open the window. It should be self-explanatory, but it's not. And notice how when you're in other people's cars, you can feel cushion in the seats? That's pretty nice, right? No, it's just normal. So bundle your renters and car insurance with Progressive and put the savings toward a new car. It's time. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Inflation is real, but not at the family-owned Mine Shaft restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure here. This is new. Every Monday, when you buy 1 pizza, you get a second pizza free. Buy 5 pizzas, get 5 free. Buy 10, get 10 free pizzas. Coaches and teachers, bring your team or school club. Your players will love the pizza and that world-class game room. It's safe. It's super affordable. It's great team bonding. Bring in pizza today for your loyal employees and clients. They'll remember you, and a great way to start the week is your second pizza is always free. Don't cook and clean today. Mondays are tough enough. Enjoy the free pizza at the Mine Shaft. I love the pizza. Your kids and grandkids will love that huge game room. Order now, pick up your pizza shortly, or dine in. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and just off the interstate in Oshkosh. Buy 1 pizza today, get 1 free for an easy Monday. And desserts, buy 1, get 1 free. Just walk on in. MineShaftRestaurant.com. It's the amazing Mine Shaft.
Welcome back to the Upswing, presented by Horicon Bank. Oh, I love talking to entrepreneurs, and that's what we have for the rest of the show today. Yesterday was National Ice Cream Day. I'm sure you celebrated appropriately. I'm going to extend the holiday, if you will, one more day. Wisconsin's only Ben & Jerry's Scoop Shop opened last Sunday, which was July 14th, I think. I don't know. This last week is kind of a lot of stuff happening in this week, but it opened right on Broadway in the historic Third Ward. It's the former home of Paintball Dave's. If you're familiar with the neighborhood, Paintball Dave's goes way back. I think that closed in like 2016, but the entire building right there on Broadway in Chicago was rehabbed in like 2019, 2020 with apartments and kind of a beautiful first floor retail space that's been used for a variety of uses until now that Tricia and our guest, Fred Rasmussen, jumped in and said, all right, we need to bring Ben & Jerry's to Wisconsin. The ice cream shop offers a ton of different flavors that Fred will go into. But Fred, thanks for taking the time to be here this morning. I'm sure it's been a busy week for you.
It has been an amazing week. We have been so warmly received by the community. Our staff is amazing. We're really trying to reach out and make sure that we can get as many customers through to have that Ben & Jerry's experience, which is all about having fun with ice cream.
Yes, indeed. So tell me about the experience. Give us a little bit about your background, and then, for you and your wife, kind of what led to that, getting up in the morning and saying, wow, I need to explore purchasing a Ben & Jerry's franchise.
So my wife is now a retired kindergarten teacher.
Okay.
She did that for 27 years. We have been Ben & Jerry's Flavor Fanatics forever. That's a little plug for our website. We have a Flavor Fanatics program for people to join if you're going to be a frequent person to the area. And we have some friends that own one. We have
in what market?
In the Illinois market.
Okay.
And just talking to them and how positive their experience has been, we jumped in and said, this is something that we want to do. Ben & Jerry's as a corporation is something that has a three-part mission that we believe in. And I'm sure you'll ask me a question about that coming up.
Yes.
But as educators, service, and being a part of a community is something that is natural to us.
Mm-hmm.
Ben & Jerry's really believes in that. Our daughter just graduated from Milwaukee School of Engineering.
Okay.
So
it's time for life's next venture.
It was time for life's next venture. And the Third Ward is a space that is absolutely amazing. And we've been in quite a bit with her over the years, and it just seemed like a natural fit.
Yeah. So how long was the process? I mean, give me some insight there. Are there others vying for? Do you have the statewide rights, or like how does that work? You submit something online, or you go through the right channels, and what's that process look like?
So Ben & Jerry's, the first step is to be approved as a franchisee, and it's a lengthy process. It took us approximately 6 months. It was a series of interviews that covered everything from an understanding of Ben & Jerry's as a corporation to an understanding of how to run a business in a scoop shop.
Okay.
And then making sure that you do a site proposal that meets their standards.
Okay. Obviously, Ben & Jerry's is now owned by Unilever, but did Ben Cohen and Jerry Greenfield come to your house and interview you on the flavors? What's the process from the interview standpoint?
So a knowledge of the flavors is a huge part of it.
Okay.
An understanding of customer service.
Yeah.
And really what we don't have a drive-through. We weren't looking at a location with a drive-through because it really is about the experience. And it starts how you're greeted. It continues into a new experience we have in our scoop shop. It's a new thing that will be coming out in future scoop shops. It's called a flavor wall. And it has pictures and descriptions, and it tries to make it more interactive. And then it continues through your experience with our scoopers. We want you to, everybody comes in. We really believe that you can change the world through ice cream. And we haven't encountered anybody who has had a scoop who hasn't left with a smile. And that's our goal.
Fred Rasmussen, one of the owners of the new Ben & Jerry's Scoop Shop. located in Milwaukee's historic Third Ward. So finding the right location for Wisconsin's first Ben & Jerry's, we'll talk to Fred about that. Coming up next, this is The Upswing, presented by Horicon Bank.
You know this already. Inflation is sticky. You see it on the news. You feel it at the grocery store. It's the involuntary pay cut no one wants and that we can't seem to shake. Annex Wealth Management wants to help. Now is the time to download 7 strategies you can use in an environment with elevated inflation. Learn how real assets can help, which tax-efficient strategies to consider, and one way to increase Social Security benefits. It's a free download and available now. Go to annexwealth.com/inflation.
Hi, this is WTMJ's Jeff Sherman with a few words about my good friends at Horicon Bank. For more than 125 years, Horicon Bank has built a foundation of beneficial relationships with their customers. Now serving the greater Milwaukee area with branches in Wauwatosa, my hometown, New Berlin, Menominee Falls, and Grafton, Horicon Bank is eternally linked to the growth and prosperity of the families and businesses in our community. Together, doing good. That's Horicon Bank's vision for all of your commercial and personal banking needs. Horicon Bank truly is the natural choice. Member FDIC.
Fleet Farm's got everything you need for everyday life. Brands from Carhartt to Milwaukee to Purina to Goodyear to Rapala to Levi's and a whole lot more. In store or online, check out all the brands Fleet Farm carries to help make your everyday life better.
From big tailgate parties to cozy dinners for two, the freshest ideas start with a stop at Century Foods.
Now through Wednesday, save on 6-pack 0.5-liter bottle or 7.5-ounce mini can selected varieties Coke products, 4 for $17. 48 ounces selected varieties Cedar Crust ice cream, $3.99. 4 to 12 count or 16-ounce selected varieties Halo Top ice cream or bars, $3.99. 45-ounce tub Imperial spread, $3.99.
Why'd you throw my glass across the room?
I have to keep practicing.
The vase from Aunt Sophie?
I'm warming up in case I get to take them out at American Family Field. Read this.
Win the ultimate baseball fan experience at Century Foods?
You either get to throw out the first pitch, hold the finish line for the famous racing sausages, or be on the field during batting practice. My new TV!
Just doing a little batting practice of my own.
The ultimate baseball fan experience. Return the entry form found in the weekly ad to any Century by July 24th.
Every so often in medicine, something comes along that is truly revolutionary.
Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, former orthopedic surgeon, now National Medical Director at QC Kinetics.
I believe this is one of those things.
Dr. Scheinkup is talking about regenerative medicine, something he's practiced, researched, and written about for nearly 2 decades.
The old ways of dealing with joint pain, such as steroids and surgery, are no longer the best ways.
If you have pain from arthritis or injury, you owe it to yourself to learn more about this exciting option, using your own body's natural power to get lasting relief. And there's no better place to learn than QC Kinetics.
There is no one in this country today with more clinics, more satisfied patients, more advanced protocols, or more experience in using this exciting option to deliver life-changing results.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Welcome back to the Monday Upswing. Yesterday was National Ice Cream Day. We're extending the holiday for another day, talking with the owner, well, a couple owners. Fred's wife had to take care of some business at the store this morning, but Fred Rasmussen is one of the owners of the new Ben & Jerry's franchise that just opened up in the Third Ward. So Ben, I knew that would happen, Fred. As you're looking at locations, what did that process look like? Was it you're just searching online? Does Ben & Jerry's give you some ideas? Do you just say, I know we want to be here? Is it like buying a house? How does that location scouting go?
It's a little bit of all of those.
Yeah.
So Ben & Jerry's provides you with some very specific criteria of what they'd like to see to help really drive your business. And foot traffic is a large part of that. There is So having a daughter who has graduated from Milwaukee School of Engineering, we had spent a lot of time dining in the Third Ward and shopping down there and really fell in love with it. And when we started this process, once we got approved as franchisees, we started the location search. And it was very quick for us. Mm-hmm. We went to one spot and we found our perfect location.
Wow. You look at the bullets on the Ben & Jerry's site for what they're looking for for new stores, and it's large, vibrant downtowns, especially tourist sections of a downtown where people go to experience and enjoy a city, entertainment centers, and tourist and vacation destinations such as beaches and boardwalks. I mean, we have a lot of those in the market, but like we were talking about over the break, Milwaukee wasn't really on the Ben & Jerry's radar.
They were unaware of how vibrant the Third Ward was. My wife and I both took turns. We had to submit what we call foot traffic counts. You literally sit and you count the number of people that go by.
So that was all on you as a franchise owner. Prove to us that this is going to work.
Correct. So we had to do what's called a site proposal, and it included a lot of information about the area, other stores, foot traffic in the area, potential for growth. A large part of what we're going to do, in addition to our activities in the Scoop Shop, is we hope to immerse ourselves into the community and do things like catering events and fundraising opportunities with schools. That is a passion for us. Ben & Jerry's wants us to become an active member of the community. So we're looking to go out and partner in those ways as we go forward. But being in our location, as close as we are to Summerfest, as close as we are to the public market, we sat there and did foot traffic counts and again, that demographic study on us and submitted a proposal, and Ben & Jerry's was blown away.
Did your daughter choose to stay in the Milwaukee area after graduating from MSOE?
She is in the Milwaukee area. I don't want to give her exact address, but she is living down on water.
Okay.
She is a biomolecular engineer.
Okay.
Has a job at a local company as an engineer, and is kind of really what drove us to this area. They say wherever your daughter lives, she's the one that's going to take care of you when you get old. So we're going to make sure we stay nice and close.
We talk often on the Upswing about recruitment and retention. There's a real life example right there. Daughter goes to school here, decides to stay here. Parents invest in a business and grow it. That's beautiful. Now, like you said, when we come back from the break, I got to ask you, are you planning on moving fully to Milwaukee? And then, how important was the mission of Ben & Jerry's as you and your wife were looking at the franchise opportunity? An insightful, fun conversation on this day after National Ice Cream Day with Fred Rasmussen, who is one of the owners of the new Ben & Jerry's franchise here in the heart of the city in the historic Third Ward. This is the Upswing, and you're listening to WTMJ.
Welcome to another episode of Analysis, man.
From Bucks superstar Giannis.
And then I'm going to Chris at the time.
What did coach mean? What do you...
And even Green Bay QB Jordan Love. There's only one call for these conversations.
I've never been in a Lambo, and I have to, right? What is this Lambo league?
Tune in to the Thanalysis Show, presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Find it today on Apple, Spotify, and anywhere you get podcasts.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wickert, owner of Wisconsin's own AccuNet Mortgage. I get that most home shoppers just go with their bank when it comes to getting pre-approved. But that's probably a mistake, because banks have a lot of overhead, like branches, fancy headquarters, and layers of management. That means their closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 higher than AccuNet's for exactly the same rate. And that's not all. Bank pre-approval letters are usually weak and unconvincing, especially compared to AccuNet's rock-solid, fully verified pre-approval that provides a $2,000 guarantee to you and the seller. Our senior loan consultants will also look at every possible way to strengthen your offer and pre-approval in the eyes of that seller, especially if you're offering over the asking price. We even call the listing agent to reinforce what a great buyer you are. Banks don't do all that. Click on the blue button today at AccuNet.com and let our passionate mortgage pros help you win while you save a bunch of money, too. That's ACCUNET.com.
Join an unforgettable weekend of summer fun when the Brewers play the Marlins July 26th through the 28th. Be here for Yacht Rock Night on Friday and a Hawaiian shirt giveaway Saturday. Get your seats at brewers.com.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
Since 1955, Geis has been the trusted garage authority in Wisconsin. Hey, don't let a busted garage door get you down. Call my friends at Geis today. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget. They'll even build custom designs to meet your exact needs. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to geisdoors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom in Brookfield featuring hundreds of doors and openers and their custom design room.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. Get sale discounts store-wide all month long. What a great time to shop for all of your Christmas needs. Get your holiday decor and so much more, along with all the great bargains we always have for you. It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
$1 doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin. The buck stops here. The deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Welcome back to the Upswing. Fred Rasmussen joins us. Him and his wife, Tricia, just opened up Wisconsin's very first Ben & Jerry's in the historic 3rd Ward. Fred, it's a bit of a family business for you, right? I mean, obviously your wife involved, but you really intend to bring all of your kids into the business at some point.
Absolutely. I have another son who is studying chemical engineering down in Terre Haute, Indiana. And he'll be up here this summer in a few weeks. He's finishing up an internship, but will be joining us this Saturday, actually, in the Scoop Shop. But our youngest son is a business major who took a class in high school called Small Business Incubator, and has really been a part of this journey with us from the beginning. Everything from the site proposal to the lease negotiation to helping us decide what our website can do, and it really is a family business for us.
All right. So how many total stores and locations are there? I always smile at the fact that as a lifelong Milwaukeean, Milwaukeeans get pretty excited about, the national brand is landing in our community, but we want the right national brands. It seems like this is one of those brands that people are pretty excited to have here.
Our community that we're in the 3rd Ward seems very excited that we're here. We have been talking people as the shop has been open only just a week. We've had international people come through, but we've had a very overwhelming response from people not only in the 3rd Ward area, but extending out into the suburbs as well. We're very excited about what's happening.
And there's less than, 200 total locations in the country now?
It's my understanding there's 197.
Okay.
There's a couple more being proposed. The majority of them are outside of the Midwest, South, West Coast, and then the East Coast.
Will this be your only Wisconsin location?
I hope not. Right. We need to get our flagship store up and running.
Come on, Jeff. We're only a week into it. Slow it down.
I would love to tell you we're going to have 6 of them in the next 10 years, but I want to make sure that we do things right and that our store in the 3rd Ward is representative of who we are in the Ben & Jerry's brand.
So how important was the B Corp mission of Ben & Jerry's to you and your wife?
It's huge. This is second career for us. So we vetted personally a variety of other options as we looked at the next phase of our life. As I said, we're both educators, and finding a company that aligned with who we are morally and socially is something that was near and dear to our heart, which is why we chose to go in this direction.
Yeah, I mean that. And Jerry's often talks about linked prosperity, right?
Yes.
That comes through in a lot of what they talk about. So you're coming into a custard market. with ice cream. Is it a rise in all frozen treats lifts all boats, or what do you see between ice cream and custard?
I am going to be biased and say that we have the best ice cream in the market. We're a super premium brand, but I also know that we're in the land of custard and several other ice cream shops in the area. We believe that our goal is to bring happiness and that we can change lives through ice cream. And whether it's us or someone else, we want people to be happy and enjoy our brand as well.
So is it Cherry Garcia, Chunky Monkey? What is your favorite flavor? And then what's your wife's favorite flavor?
So I will tell you it is seasonal for me.
Oh, okay.
So in the summertime, I'm a Chunky Monkey guy.
All right.
I will throw in some half-baked or some fish food. In the wintertime, we will do something called a hot shake. So we'll take some steaming hot chocolate, drop your favorite flavor in there and melt it throughout. So a salted caramel blondie and a hot chocolate makes all this gooey pleasure and joyness.
All right. Entrepreneurial story from education to ice cream opening in the historic Third Ward, Milwaukee, and actually Wisconsin's very first Ben & Jerry's franchise is now open. Fred Rasmussen and his wife Tricia are the owners. Joined us today on the Upswing. I appreciate your time, Fred.
Thank you so much. We're glad to be here. We'd love to see you come out to the store as well as the rest of the community.
All right, very good. Coming up next, Wisconsin's Midday News with Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
Welcome to The Knowledge Brokers, a weekly feature covering the dynamics of the insurance market and how it affects Wisconsin businesses and residents, sponsored by the original Knowledge Broker, R&R Insurance. Back with us again today, Jeff Salazinski, Vice President of Insurance Operations. Jeff, we've talked about cybercrime before. In fact, you were the first person I thought of when we learned of this major healthcare system with many of our own doctors, clinics, and hospitals attacked.
Thank you, Vince. It's great to be here again. Yes, that massive attack is wreaking havoc both on the employees and the patients. Their systems have been down for several weeks. It sounds like chaos. The FBI director has called cybercrime and cyber attacks the defining threat of our generation.